There we go. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy, the Dope Ass Dude, and thank you for tuning in tonight. I am really, really excited about tonight's podcast. My guest, I'm like so overjoyed. She's on the show. Her vibe and her energy is like through the roof. So I can't wait for you guys to meet her. So let's go ahead and do a couple of preliminary things you guys already know. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, if you don't mind going ahead subscribing to the YouTube channel now. And while you're out there, go ahead and click on notifications so that you can be notified each and every time a new podcast is uploaded to the site. And then also, if you don't mind, clicking on like so that this can be shared with others just like you. Now, if you're unable to watch it on Mondays, you can always catch it on the go. It's on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Again, that's Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And then you already know you can watch it live each and every Monday on Facebook, LinkedIn, X, and YouTube. Again, that's Facebook, LinkedIn, X, and YouTube. And then if you're not following me on TikTok and Instagram, if you don't mind following me on both of those platforms, on both of them, I am the Dope Ass Dude podcast. That's on both TikTok and Instagram, the Dope Ass Dude podcast. And finally, we're going to go ahead and get some preliminary stuff out for Sean. You can follow her on Instagram and TikTok on both of those platforms at Shine on underscore E underscore. Again, that's Shine on underscore E underscore. And then you can follow her on Facebook at EC Shine. And let me get that one more time to you. On Instagram and TikTok, you can find her at Shine On, and that's HINEON underscore E underscore. And on Facebook, you can find her at EC Shine. So I'm really excited to have her on the podcast tonight. I came across her content maybe about 6 months ago, and I've just been following her ever since. And she comes in and her energy is like so infectious. I mean, you can't help but smile when she comes on, and her whole presence is super strong. And as I watch so many of her videos, she has a natural gift, and you can tell her passion is helping other people to see the light within them and finding ways to shine brighter than ever in this dark world. So I'm really excited to have her on the podcast because I know as much as she inspires me, she's going to inspire you. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her on out so she can tell you guys everything about her.
Hi.
Sean, what's going
What's
on?
going on? Hey, everybody. I don't know who's out there, but what's up?
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I think I got all my nerves out. I'm good. I'm in good company. So I appreciate you. Thank you for uh, giving me this opportunity, basically. And I didn't know it had been 6 months. I'm like, what? You've been watching me that long? You never
Yeah.
know, right? I was like, you never know who watching. You never know.
You never know. Like, and the funny thing is, like, when I watch your videos, and I honestly, I really mean that, when you watch your content, like, you can't help but smile, like from the beginning to the end, because your energy, it is just like, it's pure, and you could just feel like you're coming from a good space. So, like, how did you get started with all of that?
Oh my goodness. As far as posting videos, that was something more recent. More or less, it was after having a moment of truly going through anxiety and depression, right? And not recognizing what it was. Oftentimes, I think I did a video. Oftentimes, I feel like God puts you in a solitude position and brings you to a place where you have to separate yourself. But also, I feel like the enemy does that as well, right? And he wants to get you in a place where he can play with your mind, and your mind becomes his playground. And that's where I was. And for me, I didn't know it until I actually spoke on it and actually reached out to some girlfriends of mine, like, hey. And then once they grabbed hold of me, I realized, oh my gosh, I was really in this cloud. I was dealing with so much stuff by myself because I'm used to operating that way. I don't like being a burden to other people. You know what I mean? I don't mind being that ear and that listening for other people and encouraging other people, but sometimes it's harder to encourage yourself, right? So I think once that cloud lifted for me, I was like, hey, that's my new hashtag. I got to heal in public. We got to heal in public. I did so much in silence, right? Now it's time to heal in public. So
Now,
that's why I started doing those videos.
so was that like scary to heal in public? Because like you're in like this vulnerable, naked phase for everybody to
For
see
everybody.
everything. So was that scary for you?
It's still scary. Like this right now, it's still this is me healing in public. And I say because I don't like really speaking in public, believe it or not. Like that is like a no-go for me, believe it or not. And I write poetry, I've done spoken word, but I don't like being in the forefront of any of this. But though it is scary, I know that even if it touches one person, I've done something, right? It's not always about quantity, but it's about the quality. And so oftentimes before I even post something, is because I've read something, I've prayed about it, or I've experienced it myself. And just like the video you posted, that was hilarious because I watched it again. I was like, that's truly my personality. Because at the end of the video, I was like, oh, my lips are ashy. That's why I made sure tonight my lips are not ashy, y'all. But I was like, even in your ashiness, like you are worth it, right? And so I want to connect and be able to be genuinely and authentically myself, be transparent, and hopefully people see me, but they see what you know, what I exude, and hopefully that's God's love that I exude to them. So yeah,
Wow,
that's
wow.
why I say
And you know,
shine on. So
shine on. I love that.
shine
And you know, the
on.
funny thing about it is last week on the podcast, someone asked a question about like pretty much how do you step out and do something that you know God is he's giving you the vision, but you may feel like you're not qualified for it. So I probed a little
Yeah.
bit into the question and they were like, well, you know, how do you be relatable with people? And I think the thing with being relatable with people is that you don't have to go through everything that they go through, but you have to be vulnerable enough to acknowledge you've been through something and you've come out of it. And I think that's how you can, and I think that's kind of like what works for you, because
Yeah.
you probably haven't experienced everything your audience experienced, but you show you can come out on top. And I love that
You
about
can.
you.
You can
Wow.
and you will. And even amidst all that you may be going through, it's still a process. So I think some people think, oh, healing is automatic and it's done. Once I'm healed, I'm healed. No, it continues. You have to continue to work on it, just like with anything in your life, right? As an example, I'm down over 76 pounds, right? But I can't go back to eating crazy. I gotta continue to work on it. Even though I want to eat these Girl Scout cookies I just got yesterday. I mean, I walk, but I walk. I walked to go get them, so I burned some calories before I ate. But I'm just saying, I'm saying it's going to still be work, and I think a lot of people misconstrued that once things happen, once you're healed or you think you're healed, it's not going to be additional aspects of that. And this for me and posting the videos, having these type of conversations is helping me, is work for me because as I process and recognize the things that I have gone through, I'm realizing that's why I say, as I speak to you all, I speak to myself. And we have to encourage ourselves. There's a song that says, encourage yourself in the Lord. You have to encourage yourself. Sometimes you have to encourage yourself. But I'm thankful. I'm honored. Like, it's people that tell me they watch my videos and, I'm looking for the likes, right? I'm like, well, see. But they're like, I've been watching your videos. One young lady said, I sent your videos to one of my girlfriends that was going through something. And then other people say, oh, your videos have encouraged me. But again, you can't look for the likes either. It's not about the quantity. Um, it's about truly reaching out. And I think sometimes we look at numbers and we look at how people respond, and it's not always about that either, because there's a lot of people that are going to be watching, but it's about ultimately the bottom line. And are you touching somebody? Are you saving somebody's life? Are you showing that they are loved? Are you showing them, hey, I've been through it, you can go through it, we gonna make it. It is a process, it's work, but it's all going to work out in the end. And that's hopefully what I do for people. And be silly with it too. You got to laugh. You got to
Yeah.
have some type of fun. You got to smile, right? And I say shine on because I say we are to allow God's love to shine through us, because we are to be salt and light unto the earth. And if you give too much salt, that makes something taste not too good. If you give too much light, it can kill a thing. But if you do just enough, it makes it tasteful. If you shine enough light on something, it allows it to grow. So that's why I say shine on.
So let me ask you this here. So, you said earlier, people sometimes get it misconstrued that once you're healed, and it's a one and done thing. There are still moments when you kind of feel the residue of what hurt you or broke you. So in those moments, what do you do? Because when we see you on social media, you like shine on everybody. Yeah. Like, so we don't never see, we never know. So what do you do in those moments?
Well, you have to know and ask God for the discernment to truly know who you can speak to and what you can speak to them about. I feel like God has surrounded me with some awesome friends. I'm so thankful, friends and family and loved ones, but ultimately, you still can't talk to everyone about everything. It's a time and place, right? But having that circle and that environment of people that you know will not judge you. It goes back to the common things of those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind, right? They don't mind what you're going through in the transition, and they're not going to judge in a way of condemning you. It's more of encouraging you, or trying to guide you towards a different route, right? So for me, it's having that community, and God has really transitioned my community in my later years in life. I'll put it out there. I'm 45. I'm 45, 45 years old. Okay. I'm still fine. Call me Belinda Button. Okay. Call me Belinda Button, because I aging backwards. But anywho,
Aging backwards, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's what
but
I'm talking
ultimately, you have to have that community. And sometimes God will change your friendship circle. And you're like, what is going on? But it's for a purpose, right? So that's how I handle it. And then also, I really read. I really found books and things that allow me to learn more of how to handle emotions and how to work on reactions, not to overthink. Leaning in more into prayer. I have a prayer journal. I write my prayers, write it out, make it plain. I have my study journal. I have my Bible. I have so many books. So people that know me know I have books. I have journals, and I write it out. I read every morning. I pray and meditate every morning and throughout the day. And that's still hard sometimes because emotions are still there, but it's based, like I said, on how to regulate and how to react, and truly leaning in what the word says. The word says it clearly, right? It says, be anxious about nothing. And then it says, then the peace of God. And then it tells you what to think on next. That's all in Philippians. So the Bible is a guide, right? And I know not everybody has those same beliefs, but for me, that's where I've been leaning more into reading, praying, and knowing who I can speak to and what to speak on.
Nice. So, so when in
Uh-oh.
that, no. It's all good because I love the whole the transparency that you have and how you just, you break everything down. And in every podcast so far this season, the whole circle of friends has come up in every
Oh, wow.
podcast. Every podcast. So that's almost like, and people know, Erica, you can tell them, you and I, we haven't talked about anything
No,
before tonight.
I haven't.
We this is how. So when you went through that whole change of your friend circle changing, because you were going to different levels and your friend circle had
Yes.
to, how did you process that?
it felt unreal. Like it's it's amazing because I have friends that I've had over 30 plus years, right? I've had another friend 10, 15 plus years, but I just met this group of women my birthday back in October that I feel like I've known forever. Like it's just connection. And I had just posted on my Facebook, like, God has surrounded me with all these married women. I'm a divorcee, and um, at one point you go through your stages of feeling like, okay, does that demean me because I've been married before and I'm going through this transition and different things of the sort. And then I'm going through a physical transition. I'm going through a mental transition. I'm going through a spiritual, like all these transitions, but yet God is surrounding me with people. And it's almost like he's saying, I'm putting you in position because this is what is going to be. And I'm not saying, oh, I'm ready to get married again and trying to, but I'm in position. And those women, those group of women, all my friends prior to, and the group of women that I've just met recently, I'm so full and thankful for them. And it feels unreal because sometimes you have, what is it called? I can't think of the word. You're not really there. I forgot the
Oh,
syndrome they call it.
surreal, kind of surreal.
It's surreal, but I forgot what they call it though. But it's just like imposter syndrome. I couldn't think of it.
Mm.
Like imposter syndrome. Like, oh my gosh, do I fit in? Is this for me? Because it's different places and different environments that I'm in that I hadn't been in before. And so it's not necessarily uncomfortable. It's just not my norm, you
Mm.
know. And I've spoken to being how you're used to being in your normalcy. And so when something is abnormal, you're like adjusting, like, okay, is this really what I'm supposed to be? Is this who I'm really supposed to be around? Why not? Yes,
Mhm.
this is what you're supposed to be doing. Why not you? You know? And one of the women that introduced me to the rest of the group, Tia, she basically told me, you're worth it. You deserve, like, say those things to yourself. I deserve it. I'm worth it. Why not me? And I think oftentimes because of what we've been through in our past, we get stuck in that mindset of our past. And like, this is moving forward. It's time for you to move forward. It's time to encourage yourself. It's time to continue to push and know that you are worth that.
So when you transitioned to this new circle of friends, when God opened up that table for you to sit at this new table with friends, did you try to take your old friends with you in the beginning?
Well, I still have my old friends. I still have a
Okay,
few old
okay.
friends. So I'm thankful. Like I have a best friend I've had 30 plus years. I'll put the story out there. I did not like her at first. Like we did not like each other. I did not like her because I had just moved back from Germany and people thought I didn't speak English. And I was like, what? I speak English. Who are you talking to? But she was like, hi, how are you? And I'm like, but anywho, we've been friends for 30 plus years. And yeah, so I still have friends that I know, but then I've lost friends, or not necessarily lost friends, lost communication with some people. For me, I think is once a friend, you'll still be a friend. I don't think you have to talk to some friends every day or every month. You might talk to them, birthday, Christmas, different holidays of the sort. But hey, if they say regulators, we're gonna mount up. I might not talk to you, but if they need me there, it could be regulators because hey, we need to pull up, we need to pray, what we need to do. But I feel, you know what I mean? Like what we need to do. Hey y'all, I don't look like where I'm from. See, that's what God would do for you. Okay. That's what God would do for you. But I'm just saying, I wouldn't say they've fallen off. It's just they're not going the same way I'm going. They're not going where I'm going. And hey, their direction could be where God is leading them. It's not saying it's greater or less than. It's just they're not going where I'm going.
Yeah. And I think that's the beauty of it. We have to realize that we serve purposes in people's lives and they serve purpose in our lives. And when we
Yeah,
serve those purposes, then it's time for us to free them, for them to go to their next journey, for us to go to our next journey. And it don't, like you said, it doesn't mean that they're bad people. Where they're going is not better. Their future could be better without you, like up
yeah,
close in their lives.
yeah,
And you just have to let people follow their path that God has for them. And yeah,
yeah.
it's good for everybody.
And it's unfortunate though, because some people see it as a bad thing, right?
Hmm.
Um, you have to be mindful because some people are just in it to mind your business, not to actually be there for you, but just trying to mind your business, trying to make sure you're not doing better than them. And that's really unfortunate. And that happens, especially at this big age we are. It still happens. And some people use the term crabs in a barrel and mindset and different things like that. But I think we should do a better job as people, as women, especially. I feel like as Black women, we have to come together because I think it was so dope how I met my new circle of friends. They had seen me at my birthday gathering party I had the night before, and the next day I was by myself. I had went and sat outside after having brunch with some friends, but I still wanted to be out, so I sat outside, and they recognized me from the night before. But and they welcomed me. Now it could have been where they was like, "Oh, that's that girl from the night before." Or, it's all about mindset and attitude. So you got to have the right mindset as well, especially when you're trying to welcome people in. It's so many people are against each other or trying to talk negatively, unfortunately, when you could meet some dope people if you just say hello and genuinely compliment each other. Like, tell a woman she's beautiful. If she looks good, girl, you look good. And oftentimes, unfortunately, in this climate we're in, it's more of a, I hate the term hate, but it's more of hatred. Like, who she thinks she is? No, she look good. That's who she thinks she is. She's doing her thing. So I'm thankful for them being open and not judgmental or questioning who I was. They found out who I was and we became friends.
So why do you think some women, it's not all women because you're not that way. So why do you
Yeah.
think some women struggle with complimenting other women?
I don't know because I've never been that person. If I were to guess, it's because they have something they're working on in themselves. It's something there where it goes back to that healing. It's still a process. It still takes work. And it tells you in the word, love yourself, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So if you don't love yourself, it's gonna be hard for you to love somebody else. And that's not just talking about love as in loving relationship, friendships, but in loving strangers. You're not gonna be able to genuinely care for other people if you don't have love for yourself. So if you're constantly telling yourself or looking in the mirror and judging yourself, and you're going to end up doing the same to other people because you don't have that confidence in who you are. You ultimately have to have that confidence in self. And yes, that's work as well. I have dealt with that, right? Because like I said, transitioning with the weight loss, it was like, oh my, I was used to being that cuddle bunny, like, oh, I'm a big girl, I got my hold my belly at night. I don't have a belly no more to hold. So it's a transition, it's a transformation, and in that again, everything deal starts with the mind. You have to renew your mind, guard your heart, and be mindful of what you speak.
So how do
Because
we change our mindset? Sean, how do we change our mindset and not only change it, but
yeah,
stay on that path of change and transition and transformation?
well, it goes back. I said, mind, guard your heart, speak. So if you speak it, you're going to think it. So those things tie together. So you have to speak it. That goes back to affirmations. That goes back to reading the word. What does the word say about you? You are fearfully and wonderfully made, right? So therefore, if the word says it, that's the truth. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, no matter what nobody else has said in the past, no matter what I even think about it, right? God's word stands stronger than what I feel and what I think. So if he says I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, that's what I am. And as I say, period, poo, you know. So you have to know that, you know, and not to say you won't have moments of self-doubt, but that's where you got to pull yourself out of that self-doubt and like, all right, I had my pity party, I had my moments, let's get it. Let's get it. And when you have those thoughts, at least for me, when I have moments of self-doubt or feel like I'm getting anxious about something, I immediately start praying. I pray about everything. Some of my friends be looking at me like, girl, why are you praying? Because why not? I'm going to pray. I know that works. I know that prayer changes things. And it's out of a lot of things is out of our control. And I realized that I tell other people control the controllables, but I'm the one that always want to be in control. Like I'd be like, Jesus, take the wheel, but I'd be like, hold on, let me move it this way. No, no, you gotta let go of the control. Realize that a lot of things, yes, we have free will, we have the ability to make decisions, but ultimately everything has already been written. And once you realize that, you're like, you know what? Why am I worried? Why am I worried? Okay, ain't no money in the bank, but guess what? God still provides. All right, people acting crazy in this world right now, in this climate we in. All right, my God will protect. Like you have to truly trust in God. And I'm reading a book saying, I want to trust you, but I don't. But I implemented that also into how we look at God at times. We say we trust God, but we have doubt. We can't do that. It doesn't work. It's a double negative. It counts out everything. So we say we're gonna trust them and keep it moving.
Yeah. Wow. And I love how you really push in speaking affirmations, because I'm big on that, speaking affirmations
Mhm.
every day. And Donald Lawrence, he did a project, this maybe been about 15, 20 years ago. It was called the I Am Factor. And he talks
Mhm.
about in the CD how anything that follows I am, as soon as we speak it, the universe sends it to us. So everything we say after I am, like I am rich, I am, chosen, I am this, the universe hear it and it responds to it. And it is so true. And I think people do not get affirmations. You don't always feel it when you speak it.
No.
Sometimes you're speaking it into existence. It's almost prophetic. So when you're saying these things, you're not always going to feel it. You're not always going to feel happy. You're not always going to feel successful. But once you speak it enough, you hear it enough, it changes your mindset. And like he said, the universe sends it your way. So we
Mhm.
have to be
Mhm.
so careful with our words. And people, we don't realize that at times.
Yeah, because it's often how often are you say when people ask you how you doing, but I'm tired. Okay. What you doing? I ain't doing nothing. I ain't got no money. Like, okay, keep saying that. And that's what's gonna happen. You have to be mindful of that. So I've done it, you know. So when people say, how you doing, instead of saying I'm tired, I could say, I could use more sleep, but I'm well, you know, because that's what I could. I could use more sleep, but I'm not gonna say I'm tired because guess what? If I'm at work, I'm gonna start feeling like I'm tired. And um, when people, you know, I used to get quiet when people compliment me. Oh, you're beautiful. You're so kind. And I used to be like, I'm all right. Or I have my days, you know, those type of things. And now it's like, okay, you know, you gotta thank you. And even if it's in the back of your mind, you didn't speak it. So you didn't hear yourself say it. It might be in the back of your mind, but you start realizing, like, okay, all right, thank you. I appreciate you. You know, so it does start. And then that's the things you got to realize if you have children or if you have people looking up to you, imagine.
Oh my
Thank
gosh,
you,
people.
man code. I can't. I can't.
Buddy,
Mine has
buddy.
frog hair.
Mine is frog hair. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you fine and frog girl.
Appreciate
Okay.
that. I appreciate
Okay.
that.
So how
Oh my
old were
God.
you when you lost the 76 pounds? Was that like
That's
recent or
recent. In the last year
recent?
and a half. Yes. So
Okay,
that's what
so
I said.
let's
All of this, John, right now, when I say everything, everything has happened within this last year and a half. Like I'm like, God, what are you doing? Why now? Why me? It's got to be something great. Like from the videos to being on here. I just started recently hosting an event locally called Conversations Over Cocktails.
okay.
It talks about love, sex, relationships. So people, it's an open forum. Again, I don't like being in public, but yet I'm being placed in public.
But it's good that you are, open to the change, and you're allowing yourself to be free to go in that direction. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. It's a great thing. And then I realized that I did a video about the woman, I believe it was in Luke. She had 18 years of infirmity. And infirmity in today's terms is translated into depression. So she had become conditioned and she bowed down and became one with her depression. So that was her norm. And so when she came out of it, it was like, what is this? And that's where I feel like I am. I'm like, oh, what is this? Like, I'm no longer overthinking. And if I have a moment of overthinking or a moment of anxiousness or anything like that, I know how to tackle it. Everybody go to therapy. Plug, PSA, therapy. Yes, pray and therapy. God
Yes.
put them out here for a reason. Pray,
Yes.
therapy. Okay. All right. So, and then, but coming out of a thing and it's like, oh my God, what is this? And that's peace. That's what peace feels like. Having quiet moments with myself. I'm my only child by my mom. I have two sisters with my dad, but only child by my mom. So I'm used to being alone. But sometimes being lonely is hard. But at the same time, God is like, we can converse. I'm here. And we like, okay, but you ain't a man, God, but I get it. That's keeping it real. I have those conversations. I don't know about y'all. God, for real, what you gotta help me. Cause dating,
Okay.
that's a whole nother conversation right there. But peace, that's why I made the acronym peace, providing energy around changed emotions. So you have to provide the energy and ask God to help you provide the energy to change your emotions and to grow and to adapt so you feel better, do better, and be better, hopefully. So
So let me ask you this here, Sean. So you made these transitions in the age group that the world sometimes discredit. Like once you turn 40, they say you going downhill. You at the
no,
end of the road.
it's only up from here.
It's only up. That's what I tell folks. It is only up. So you lost weight. I mean, you look amazing. You look amazing. You're starting the podcast. You got a whole new group, a circle of friends. So, like, God is just opening up so many doors for you.
So many
So,
doors.
like, and then you just talked about like feeling lonely at 45. How do you deal with that loneliness? Because a lot of the viewers here on the podcast, they're around that age group and they struggle with that from time to time because they feel like life is over for them in their 40s in regards to love.
Well, in regards to love, I say date. I definitely agree with dating. Um, I'm not a person that dates multiple people. And some people, that's a whole nother conversation. I know some people feel like, oh, you should date multiple and get to know, because some people feel like dating is collecting data. And I get it. But for me, I'd be like, if I was dating too many people at one time, I'd be like, didn't I tell you? Oh no, that won't do. Like I'm not the one. I'm not the one. I cannot. So, but some people choose to do that. But dating for me, I think ultimately you got to find someone in a dating phase that's open and willing to grow with you and acknowledge you for who you are. It's not easy. It's not easy. And you have to understand what steps you want to take when it comes to dating. But as far as having lonely stages, I date myself. I take myself out. I will go to the movies by myself. I go sit at the bar sometimes by myself. I'll go sit at the park and get on the swing like a big kid. I've gone down the slides. When it's warmer, I go to the beach by myself. I used to go to Alexandria because I'm in Virginia, but I used to drive up to Northern Virginia, Old Town Alexandria, which I'm gonna start doing again, or either go to Georgetown, and it's this nice falafel place that I love, and get
Oh
me some
wow.
falafel and Georgetown cupcakes. I can't eat as many cupcakes anymore, but I'm gonna go do it. And I would just sit outside on the cobblestone and people watch. And then sometimes I would window shop or either actually shop because they have real nice shops and things down there. But you can date yourself. You have to be okay with who you are, because if you can't be okay with who you are, how you gonna include somebody else in your own company and you don't even like your own company? So I date myself.
So how do you? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that. So how do you get yourself? Because I know you know your platform is all about transition of the mind and shining bright. How do you get your mind okay to, like, you've been married before, you said you were divorced now, and how do you get your mind right? Like I said, as a 40 individual, it could be male or female, they don't have to just be women, it could be a male or female that has gone through life, and you're here at this phase, and you're talking about going to the movies by yourself and going to dinner by yourself and being with you. How do you get yourself to the point that you even like you?
Like I said, I was an only child, so I had to like
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
I I had to like me. I used to play and make believe with my dolls and tell them what to do and sit down. Now, it is different being an adult and not having that companion with you every day. That is a different transition because you want a warm body. You want to cuddle up. Right now, I have my pillow. I have my pillow. I don't have my belly no more. I have my pillow. But but ultimately, it's just finding things that you like, because I would think, this is my opinion, I would think that it's things that you like to do that you will want to introduce to the person that you eventually are dating. So if you like museums, if you like certain music, if you um, like I said, going to the beach, you would want to hopefully include that your person with you to those things. So why not experience those things alone? You know, um, some people don't like doing stuff alone. I had a friend of mine say that the other day, that they never had gone out by themselves. Actually, with my group of friends, we were out to eat. We were like, "Girl, you got to do it. It's amazing." Because then you also end up meeting people. Because that's how I met them. I was
Mhm.
by myself. If I hadn't gone outside and sat outside because I like being near the water, and it was a beautiful day in October, I would have never met them. So you don't know who you potentially could meet. You don't know the experience that you may have. Just go try it. So if you haven't done it, male or female, I recommend it. Even
Yeah,
travel by yourself.
absolutely. Those are the best trips. Best trips.
Yeah.
Best
Because what
trips.
they don't know, they don't know. No, I'm joking, but no, travel.
But that's facts. That's
That's
facts.
right.
So the funny thing is, I had lunch and I saw Pat said at 40 women are just getting started. I agree.
Yes,
I
Miss
agree.
Patricia. Yes.
Yeah,
And my
yeah.
aunt used to say that all the time. She was like, "Girl, when you turn 40, it get," and I was like, "I don't want to be 40. Honey, I'm 45, and I'm like 50 about to be the bomb." You hear me?
Because it gets
So,
better at 50. Trust me, it gets
so
better
they
at
better
50.
lock me down. They better lock me down, because if not, and they, I'll be outside. No.
And
I'm gonna
I
be
think this,
outside.
as humans, it's natural for us to see what is missing in our lives. And one thing that I had to start doing and reprogramming my mind is that, opposed to seeing what is missing in my life, I see that as a space I can fill it with what I want to be in my life.
Mm,
And
That's good.
once you change your view of how you look at your life, it opens you up to new things, new experiences. And I just met with a friend 2 weeks ago. She just recently turned 40, and she was like, John, I'm in a weird space. I just moved to a new place. I don't have friends here yet. And she was listing off all the things that was missing in her life. And I was like, you're in the most beautiful space you could ever be in. You're not married right now. You don't have any kids. Your job is remote, so you can move wherever you want to go, travel whenever you want to go. You are in a beautiful space, but we tend to
Yes,
see our lives at what is missing out of it, opposed to
yes,
what we can fill it with. It's a
that's
blank canvas,
good.
people. Paint whatever you want to
Yes,
paint in your life. Yeah.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Yes, tell her, let me live vicariously through her just for a day or two. Just a day or two. Work from home. Can I work from home? That's a plus right there. I wouldn't change the world. I have 3 gifts. I call them my gifts, my children. I have a 26, a 20, and an 11. I am good. I'm thankful for them. But as far as work from home, we can swap jobs. But no, I definitely agree with you. I think we often do think of the things that we haven't done or could do or should have done when it's just like, okay, let's try to do it now. Because as far as traveling for me this year, that's one of my top goals. I want to travel because I felt like I was talking about what I didn't do when I was married. It's like, oh, I didn't get to travel. I didn't get to do X, Y, Z. The time is now. I'm going to make sure I do it. And then I might not do it by myself. I might do it with my kids and things like that. Um, but I think a lot of people also compare. You can't compare your life to other people at all. Your life is your life for a reason. It's only one you. Like I told my baby girl, she just turned 11. I said, you're a one-er-oneer. She's like, a one-oneer. I said, yeah, you one-er-one. It's only one you, boo. Ain't nobody like you, ever will be like you. That's it. It's only one you for a reason. Stop comparing yourself. And as I speak to you, I speak to myself. Stop comparing.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. Even at this old age, not old, I know, but even at this age, we often compare ourselves to other women because sometimes you look at younger women and like, oh, I remember my body was like, oh, I used to be tighter. I used to, oh, I could run, I could do this. Oh, my face is changing. Girl, you look good, girl. Man, you look good. You go, boy. Like, because some of
Yeah.
us in our 40s compared to some of these 20-year-olds, nothing against, but
Nothing against y'all, but y'all look like y'all done been through some stuff already.
then
And the thing with comparison, and I tell people all of this all the time, anytime you compare yourself to someone, you're always going to come up short. And the reason you come up short is because you are comparing your reality to your perception of them. And when we see stuff on social media all the time, people doing this type of stuff, people driving Range Rovers and all of this other kind of stuff, and you can't even get in the Range Rover because it looked like a Las Vegas strip because the check engine light is on, the oil light is on. They can't afford the car, but you comparing your life to these people, and they only posting what they want you to see.
they're only posting a shell. You don't know what's inside.
Yes.
To post a shell, you don't know what the engine looks like, or even if there's an engine inside. And I'm not talking about just a car. I'm talking about them as a whole. They're posting their shell. A lot of people post externally and not really sharing what's internal, what's inside of them. When it comes to marriages, different things of the sort, a lot of people, oh, I want to be like them. That's the power couple. Honey, you don't know what's going on behind them closed doors. You don't know if that
Yeah.
woman is crying every night. You don't know if that man is hearing his wife cuss him out every night. No, you need to want what you want, not what other people have.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
son, I just saw my son and my cousin. My son, life is hard out here. And my cousin, she said, no, we ain't. That's funny. But yeah, you can't compare. It's, a lot of people show a shell and you don't know what struggles they're having going on the inside. I know that from a fact because I was showing my shell, right? And that's why I often refer to butterflies, right? Because it's the transformation and it's from that caterpillar to the cocoon. And as the caterpillar climbs up, they don't know what environment they're going to be in. They just have to trust the branch, and that's God. I have to trust the branch and know my environment, which is my community, my family, my friends that are keeping me protected by prayer and so forth. And then, hey, the hardest part of becoming a butterfly is when they form their wings.
Mm.
So with that, people are used to showing the cocoon phase of their life, but they don't want to show the hard part. They don't want to show the hard part. So I'm hoping I'm showing the hard part. Even though I'm smiling and things like that, I try my best to be transparent to show like, hey, this is work. That's why I say heal in public because it's work.
So let me ask you this here. You mentioned peace earlier, and we all hear this, and I think you've even said this in some of your videos about protecting your peace. How do you protect
Mhm.
yours?
I had to learn, right? A lot of people, and I was talking about this yesterday. I'm an empath by nature. I'm an empath by nature. I take on what other people are going through. I want to encourage, I want to help, but I had to realize my capacity, you got to say no. I'm not God. I can take it to God for you, but I'm not God. So I had to learn my capacity in order to protect my peace, um, to scale back, to sometimes not go on social media, to sometimes, well, I keep my phone on D&D. I'm sorry, I'm one of them, my bad. But you might have to call twice, but you go get in touch with me. But it's just, you really have to know your capacity, and it's okay to say no and say it out of love. Okay, I understand, but I let me help you, especially at work when people try to come to you with, okay, you know what? We have employee resources for that. Let me help you with that. I'm gonna send you over there. You can't take on everything because if not, if you try to take on everything, you're going to be trying to fix everybody else's issues and not worry about your own. And that's not being selfish. I know some people might say that's being selfish. No, that's taking care of your health mentally and physically because it can ultimately drain you. But at times, you'll know when to take on and when to pray and when to encourage. But you can't do it all the time because it will impact your peace. So that's what I'm doing for me is saying no and just watching what I say again, who I say it to, and what I take on.
Now, was
Definitely.
that challenging for you to start saying no?
Yes. Because
Mm.
I'm a fixer. I'm a fixer,
Mhm.
John. I want to help.
Mhm. Yeah.
I want to help. I want to see other people feel good. And that's why you got to be careful because that can ultimately lead to people pleasing.
Mhm.
We're not here to please people. We're here to please God, not people. We are here to encourage people and love people as Christ loved the church, but not people please. Some people need to hear no. Some people need to hear not now. Some people to say need to hear it's over. Some people need to hear uh, don't do that. You got to encourage people and in certain ways with love. Um, Oftentimes, I think for me, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but they used to hurt, they'll hurt mine, but I don't want to hurt their feelings. So you have to learn, like, you know what? No, this is not how this works. This is not how this works.
Yeah. So let me ask you this here. So, like, I know you pray. We know you pray. We know you read meditations every day. You have your daily task, everything that you do to keep your light as bright as it is. Like, is there anything else that you
Everybody
do?
says
Like,
I have a light.
yeah.
What is
Well,
this
I
light?
thought that's where
Okay.
shine came from.
It is. It
Shine.
is.
Yeah, yeah. It's
It
like
is.
you do it. Like I told you, when you watch your videos, like for real, it's like it is you stop for you. And that's it. I mean, of course,
Okay.
you're a beautiful woman, but
Thank you.
you can feel your energy come through it, because, on social media, we see so much stuff, on social media, but your presence is always one that is super strong. So when it comes up the timeline, because I just normally be going real fast, and when I see it,
Yeah.
it's like, bam, stop, and then I listen to your
Thank
content
you.
and everything. Like I said, you always feel your light. Your light is pretty freaking bright. So how do you keep
Thank
it
you.
at 100 watts all the time?
It's not. It's not always 100 watts. That's why I don't post every day. That's why I don't post every day. And sometimes even when I'm posting, people say, "Oh, you just have this light." I was like, I was not feeling it when I posted. I was just crying. Matter of fact, I was just having a moment. But that shows again God's love. It's God within me. It ain't all me, because the me and me, let me tell you, okay. I know Jesus said it, tell God all the time, don't do it. She okay. She know better. Like, I be messing up. But ultimately, how do I maintain outside of that? My children are really my focal point as well. Like, I have to show them what it's like. And it's not to say always be strong, because they see me in my weak points, and being vulnerable and transparent with them also allows them to know how to deal with things as well. Um, but ultimately, it's just being around my family, my friends, uh, finding things outside of what I'm going through to truly dial in and know that it's not to say compare again, to say somebody's going through worse, right? But somebody is going through worse. And it's like, hey, look at where I am. Never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging for bread. Like, hey, I'm good. I'm thankful. Do I have everything I want? No, but guess what? I got everything I need. Got everything I need.
Love that. I love that. So, Sean, what is the one thing, what is the takeaway you want people to leave with about you on tonight?
Takeaway. I guess my slogan, what I tell people, is to shine on, because we are to allow God's love to shine through us so that we will be salt and light unto the earth. To know that you are loved, you are loving, you are capable of loving others. You are worth it. No matter when you don't feel like it, you are worth it. Um, to keep pushing, to continue, as I say. Life be lifing, but you're still living. So therefore, if you wake up, that's another day to try again. So continue to try, to continue to put forth an effort. Um, Continue to say no when needed. Uh, Love yourself, um, and heal in public. It's okay. Some people need to heal in private. It's not for everybody to heal in public. But for me, healing in public has allowed me to continue to heal, and hopefully has helped others to heal within my family unit, people I don't even know, um, and things of the sort. And if you're genuinely, authentically yourself, that's all you can be. And hopefully that's showing through my silliness, my quirkiness, my my videos, all the above, for who I am. So yeah.
It is. I mean, it's shining through. Like, for real, it's shining bright. I mean,
Because
it's
I was
like coming
nervous,
through.
y'all. I don't know if I made sense tonight or not. It is what it is. The Bible says,
What?
judge your auntie, not me. Okay.
Yeah, so okay, so this is just so I mean, just a little secret here. So when I have guests on, I ask them to log in at 6:45. So I'm like waiting for Sean to log in and everything. And then I get a notification from Instagram, Sean is going live. And I'm like, what? And it's like 6:50 and she going live. So I clicked on it or whatever. And she out there talking about, y'all, I'm so nervous. I'm just trying to work through my nervous energy tonight. I was like, what? You are
I was
amazing, my
crying.
sister. I don't know
I was,
what you're talking about. You nervous. It's like you're natural.
thank you. People keep saying that, so I gotta bring it in. I want to bring it in. Yes.
Hey, that need to be one of your affirmations. That need to be one of your affirmations so it can go ahead and find you. Yes, yes, yes. I love that because you are natural. And then one other thing, and I know we got to get out of here, but one other thing I love on your videos, when you speaking to yourself, you'll say, PSA, I'm speaking to me. You always say PSA, let
I
folks
say
know,
PSA,
hey,
as I speak to you, I
yeah,
speak to myself. That's what
I
I say, PSA.
love that.
Because I don't want people to think I'm just trying to tell you what to do. No, I be talking to myself too. Okay. And sometimes that's how God drop it in. He be like, you hear yourself? You hear yourself? Yes, cuz accept it and receive it. I know y'all been telling me. I know. Again, I keep saying at this seasoned age I am in, it's like, why now, God? And then I keep saying, why not now? Why not now? So tell yourself again, why not now? Such a time as this. And Mr. John Patrick called it out, and I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful he allowed me to be on his awesome podcast on tonight.
We
I'm so full. I feel like I could do it again almost now.
You could, like, you could have your
I'm
own.
full.
You could have your own. And you know, the thing is, I tell people all the time, like, I believe in divine orchestration, and I believe something bigger is for me and you. This connection is just the beginning
Yes,
of
just the
something
beginning.
bigger than we
And
don't even
that's
know
what
what
I
it
said in
is.
my post. I said it's only up from here. I don't know what it
Yeah,
is, but I feel it. You ever just
yeah,
feel something and you know God is in the midst of it? So it's like, okay, I'm
yeah.
excited.
So if you are not following Shine on Instagram and TikTok, please go out and follow her. She posts amazing content. She's definitely someone you need on your timeline. Instagram and TikTok, she is Shine on _E_E. And then on Facebook, you can follow her on at EC Shine. So you can follow her on
Yes.
all three of those platforms.
Y'all follow him. All my family and friends, go follow him on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the above as well. Please,
Well, y'all about to get
definitely.
tired of me because these next couple of days, I'm about to be blowing your timeline up with these posts. Yeah, you did
Yes.
like Shine. I'm happy for the
Draco is
connection.
silly. Shine is fine. I cannot.
Man, go. Hey, okay, Shine. Okay. All right,
Hilarious.
y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in
Yes.
tonight.
Shine
And
on,
I will
y'all.
see you guys next Monday. And like Sean just said, shine on, y'all. Yes. All right, then, guys. Peace. Shine, this was amazing.